Hello everybody, my name is Pixie People. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. And what we're going to do today is continue the what if we just did. So, continuing our story, Deku is looked at in the hospital. Ambulance. He's on the ambulance right now. He's healing himself when All Might shows up to say sorry that he wasn't there on time. But Deku says it's fine, considering he could have just healed anyone that got any serious injuries. By the way, in this timeline, Deku healed Aizawa after he got pummeled. Deku tells him. Deku and All Might have a conversation on how his quirk is pretty, it's very much a support person, but he acts like he's a DPS, really. Of course, they don't use DPS, they use attacker, because they don't use video game logic. But, anyways, DPS, basically. So Deku is, thanking All Might for the whole telling him he's unique in that way. After the conversation, Deku goes home with his mom, and they just have a conversation on how that was pretty dangerous. But Inko's glad he came out of that safe. Deku decides to link up with Ochako. So basically him and Ochako are working out together. So Ochako gets a bit more tough in this version. Muscly wise, not quirk wise. But yeah, she didn't really need it anyways. So basically just Deku and Ochako hanging out. And yeah, that's it. So after the week, they go back to school a week before the USJ to catch up on the assignments they were supposed to be doing. So they do that, and after the week concludes, the USJ happens. So Deku gets into his USJ outfit and links up with Ochako again, so they're gonna help each other get to the finals. And so Ida eventually walks up to them, wondering why, they're so buddy-buddy when this is a competition. And then Ochako and Deku explain their plan. And so he decides, if this is a 3 group, this could be even better. And they look at Ida in shock, like, you want to group up? And he says, yeah. Ochako already knew Ida, because they were all buddy-buddy before the exam started. The trio is assembled, and they're going to help each other get to the finals. And so Deku then talks to Ida for a second, like whispers in his ear about something. And so Ida says that could work. And so Ochako wants to help with the plan, is wondering what it is. And they then explain it to her. And then the plan is set. It's going to be explained pretty quickly. So when the bell rings, they're all back there setting something up. And then we see Ida give Deku a piggyback ride. He's a big lad, he can handle that. And Ochako puts the floating thing on them, and she holds onto his legs, lifting them up, and then Deku grabs her arms, and they basically become a jet. Then they just shoot straight past everyone, past Ida and Bakugo, because Ida's going all out for this. Not going the blue boost, but he's going all out. And then they just clear it super fast. And the reason Ida was able to do all this is because Deku was healing him the whole time. So his stamina would never run out. Yeah, that's an ability Deku has, I forgot to mention that. Deku can regenerate your stamina until he gets tired. But since it was going so fast, he didn't really need it. By the way, I recorded before this, and I came up with that idea. The whole Deku being able to heal people, and then he gets tired eventually. Anyways, after it was basically a three-way tie between. Actually, no. Ochako got first because she was, the front basically. So Ochako's first didn't really matter considering Ida and Deku are on a team. So when they announced the cavalry battles, they immediately link up. But the problem is a fourth member. Luckily for them, a pink-haired girl shows up. She's from the support channel. I forgot her name, but it's that pink lady that likes machines and calls her machines baby. Yeah, so she links up with them. And, yeah, that's right. So, they work together, and they create their thing. Deku was on top, having the headband, because he's able to reach out to people easier to heal them. So basically, what happens is they stand there waiting for people to come at them, and when they come at them, Deku heals Ida fast so he can just basically sidestep them with Deku floating everyone, and then the pink-haired lady pins everyone so they don't, go flying. And then they just basically sidestep them and just keep flying around them until, Bakugo finally gets his eyes on them, so he flies towards them and is able to actually keep up with them. But Bakugo eventually feels like he's running out of sweat, so he backs up to his thing. Yeah, he tried, but it didn't work. After that, basically what happens is Deku, Ida, Ochako, and pink-haired lady just dip the whole lobby, and no one catches them. They try, but they just can't get to them. So, yeah, all four of them are confirmed for the fighting rings. So the bracket's set up. Yeah, Shinso still made it in, so it's Deku versus Shinso. But in the original timeline, just like in the original timeline, Tailed Guy shows up and tells Deku how he didn't feel like he was in his own body, and that's why he disqualified himself. So Deku keeps that in mind when he goes into the ring. So Deku gets into his stance, and Shinso tries to, insult Deku. Doesn't work. Yeah, basically calls Deku lucky, cheap, unfair, weak, and not good. Then he tries to insult his classmates. He insults Ochako, insults Ida, the pink-haired lady. Of course, it's Deku, and it irritates him, but he decides, I'm just gonna hit you. So he pops his knuckles, like I just did, and then he runs over and just punches Shinso really hard. And then he basically just wombo combos Shinso, not purposely keeping him from falling. Like at one point he punches him super close to the edge, but he actually does the move he did in the original, slamming him to the ground, and actually pins him and just starts wailing on him. And then he heals him, and then he throws him out of the ring. Deku leaves the ring, W in hand. And he just sits in the stand watching the fights. He sees Todoroki versus Sero and is sad for Sero because, oh my god, ain't gotta do him like that, Todoroki. So Deku decides to talk to Todoroki, seeing how he's doing, because that was a bit unnecessary. And Todoroki wants to talk to Deku too. Mostly did tell him he's gonna win with just Ice Quirk, which Deku says person, really. And he thinks, yeah, that probably didn't translate too well to being a father. But he doesn't think that he abused him, he just thinks he was a neglected father. But then eventually he meets up with Endeavor, in the hallway, and tells Endeavor that it seems as though him being a bad father made Todoroki quirk neglective. So his fire quirk's weaker than his ice quirk. But Endeavor ensures that Todoroki is clearly stronger than him. But Deku doesn't say he's stronger than him. He just says that he, Endeavor, is a bad father. Then he just walks away, with Endeavor fuming and gripping his fist in anger, knowing he can't hit a kid. Anyways, Deku walks out into the ring and is readying up to fight Todoroki. Gets into a stance, and so does Todoroki. And Todoroki plans to do the same thing he did to Sero, but crazy Nelson. And Todoroki's only side he can use is his fire side. So Deku basically says, without words, saying, "You better use your fire quirk or you lose." And so Todoroki tries to use his ice quirk, but it really just shoots him and Deku towards the edge, which Deku basically is about to pull him out of the Nelson and throw him out of the ring. But Todoroki is so not gonna. Remember, Deku has not given any speeches, anything. So Todoroki sadly gets tossed out of the ring with no fire quirk thing. And then Todoroki lands outside the ring and actually gets really furious, like really mad. With Deku still in the ring, he sees Todoroki's anger and yells to Midnight, "I'd like a rematch," which Midnight gets shocked at. A rematch? Looks like Todoroki, with Todoroki getting up and realizing Deku's serious, looks like Todoroki wants another round. So why not give it to him? And he pulls out a stance and then he puts his hands up and says, "Who wants that?" And then everyone cheers, saying that's awesome and stuff. So Deku gets back into his stance and tells Todoroki, "Let's try that again." And so Todoroki decides, okay. And then he sends out his flames immediately, with Deku dodging it, catching some of the flames. And then Deku says that this is what the people wanted, this is what you should be doing for your hero career. And then basically Deku's showboating. Which also makes Todoroki use his fire quirk. So, Obviously, Deku gets obliterated here. He gets ice core. He tries to do the pin Nelson again, but fire. And he tries to do it the opposite way, ice. So Deku just decides he forfeits. Then Todoroki bows to Deku, saying, "Thank you." And Deku says, "It was no problem." And so, a new friendship is birthed. Deku and Todoroki are now homies. So after that fight, basically Todoroki versus Bakugo happens, but this time, Todoroki wins. Because this time he's less convicted on using his fire quirk. So Bakugo loses. He's mad, like really mad, but he chills himself for the ceremony. And so the top three is Tokoyami, Shoto, and Bakugo. Tokoyami, Bakugo, Shoto. But Bakugo and Todoroki are kind of like, it's fun. Tokoyami doesn't care. Yeah. So, that's really where that happens. Okay. So then we continue our story. Yeah, we're still going. 18 minutes in, still going. But then Deku learned from Ochako that Ida left a while back when he got a call. That's why he got forfeited. And so Deku wants to know why. And eventually he learns that the pro hero Ingenium got effed up by a hero killer named Stain. And Deku gets enraged at this because that. Next day at school, after the USJ, he gets his hero internships, and let's say he gets I'm thinking, sorry. Who was there? So he can help. Basically what I'm trying to say is I want Deku to be with Ida. But I don't think Endeavor likes him, and I don't think Gran Torino's gonna like him either. Okay, you know what? New hero alert. Let's say it is a mutant hero quirk that is a werewolf quirk. And he was impressed by Deku's boastfulness and his willing to give people the confidence to fight with their full power. So this hero's name, Pact, that's their name, and they have hero agency in whatever it's called. And yeah. Before any blood can come out. Because guess what he did before he came to this area? He did his research. He knows Stain's quirk. People figured out on the news that his quirk from, you know, body things, that they had multiple lacerations and there was blood dripped everywhere and saliva near it. So they were thinking, and then they started speculating. I realized Stain's quirk was a blood-related quirk. They don't know it stuns people, but Deku doesn't need to know that. So Deku basically negates Stain's quirk. So basically it's just a fist fight. And I'll say Stain is still winning because he's a better fighter than Deku. But Deku's more persistent. Eventually Edie gets up and they jump Stain. She would say a lot harder than it is in the original because there's before that happens, Deku gets snatched by the bird, Nomu. But Stain leaps up and stabs it, sliding it with it. He didn't say it out loud, but he thinks Deku is a true hero because he went to save his friend because, you know, he's his homie. And he appreciates that kind of evil because that's a hero. That's a hero, basically. And so, after Stain does that, he does his whole "come at me, you fake heroes," and then says, "Who's gonna stop me?" with his blood verse, and then that basically makes everyone get conqueror-cocky. After that, Stain collapses from pain. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to stop it. Anyways, like, subscribe, hit the post notification bells if you liked the video. If you didn't, don't. Anyways, I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers before the end of the month, alright? I'll give you a little goal. If we don't hit it, I don't care. But if you do, thank you. And I'll do a 100 subscriber special. But I'm almost at 90, so I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.